there. Thanks so much for joining us on NECN. I'm Monica Medea. It's Tuesday, April 1st. Let's get you caught up on today's top stories. The top story today, Karen Reed's retrial is underway. Today is the first day of jury selection. Reed is charged with hitting and killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Her first trial ended in a mistrial. Boston firefighters spent several hours battling a house fire in Brighton. This was on Academy Hill Road. The fire chief says 7 people made it out of the home. 5 were taken to the hospital with minor issues. And the UConn women's basketball team heading to the Final Four for a record 24th time. The Huskies beat the USC Trojans last night to advance to Tampa. The last time the UConn women won it all was in 2016. Jury selection is now underway in Karen Reed's second murder trial. She's charged with killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Her first trial ended in a mistrial. Manoj Kongwari has more now from outside Norfolk Superior Court.
Has anyone seen, heard, or talked about this case? Please raise your hand.
2 new defense attorneys, a new special prosecutor. After major additions to both the prosecution and defense, Karen Reed back in court for her second trial, where she continues to face murder for the death of John O'Keefe, her Boston police officer boyfriend who was found dead in front of a Canton home back in January of 2022.
As you can imagine, this case is expected to take a while.
Tuesday, jury selection began. Judge Beverly Cannoni telling the first wave of prospective jurors the details of the case, the charges against Reed, and gave them the instructions they are to follow when deciding the fate of Karen Reed if they are in fact chosen to serve on the jury. But in order to be chosen, they must convince the court they will be completely impartial.
We need to know if you are able to follow the law in this case. You don't necessarily have to agree with the law, but all the jurors will have to apply the law as I describe it.
This jury selection process likely to take some time. For reference, during the first trial, they went through hundreds of prospective jurors before ultimately finding the final 12. We, of course, will be keeping you updated, but already Judge Beverly Cannoni has said this trial likely will last until June. Reporting in Dedham, I'm Manoj Kongwari.
NECN is your home for complete coverage of the Karen Reed retrial. We'll carry all of the testimony live when it starts. You can also stream it on any of our online platforms. And make sure to tune in at 7 p.m. for our Canton Confidential special, which we recap the trial each day.
Our skies continue to dry out. I'm First Alert meteorologist Tevin Wooten. Remember the rainfall from yesterday, late last night, earlier this morning? It probably woke you up. Well, most of the showers are done now, with the exception as across Cape Cod, we've got a few lingering spots of rain, but even the clouds are clearing out pretty quickly here, so we'll have sunshine for the remainder of the day today and dry skies tonight. There is a wind from the west and northwest. That's what's bringing in some of the drier air and also the cooler air too. Our temperatures earlier this morning were actually in the upper 50s, and then we dropped down to the upper 40s, and we're back in the low 50s for highs this afternoon around town, from Dorchester to Milton and even Quincy alike at about 51 degrees. Around town through Metro West, Natick's at about 51, Rentham at 52. It's still breezy, remember, and even through Norfolk County, where Randolph is at about 51. We'll start to see temperatures drop down as the sun sets at 7:10 today. Will be dry and still remaining breezy overnight tonight. Not as strong of winds tonight as what we've got throughout portions of the day today. But temperatures certainly do start to fall underneath that northwest wind, below freezing practically region-wide. A couple of pockets near 28 or 29 degrees through central Massachusetts. But tomorrow, you'll note the temperatures are cooler. We've got an onshore wind, so at the coast, that's where some of the coldest air will lie. Meanwhile, across the interior, we'll likely have highs in the mid-40s to upper 40s for another day. Now, tomorrow it's colder, but it is dry. We'll start to take on a warmer and wetter weather pattern on the way for Thursday and Friday. We'll talk that part of the story and more coming up in just a moment.
In Bridgeport, Connecticut, police